All right, welcome back to the channel. The other day we talked about introduction to Java, how you can install your IntelliJ IDEA, writing out your first Hello World code in the Java programming language. Today we are going to be diving deeper into Java concept, right? So today we'll be talking about um, type data typecasting in Java. We are going to be talking about operations, arithmetic operations in Java. We are going to be talking about strings in Java. We're going to be talking about the if and else statements. We're also going to be talking about the switch statement and all of that, right? So I hope you stick around and get the fun out of this video. All right, let's dive right into it. For we are going to start with typecasting in Java, right? So what is data typecasting in Java, right? So data typecasting in Java is when you assign a value of a primitive data type to another primitive data type, right? So it's like let me give a practical scenario as an example. Let's say you have you're trying to go out and you have a long sleeve t-shirt, right? And the one that you want to convert that long sleeve t-shirt to a suit, right? You can get a jacket, right, and put on it and get the tie. So you've converted that long sleeve t-shirt to a suit, right? So that is what this typecasting means. You're trying to cast an integer, for instance, to a double, or a double to an integer, right? So that is what this means. So to do this, you declare a variable. Let's say int number is equal to 1, right? And you want to cast this number into a double. So there are two ways to do this, right? So you can either use what we call the widening casting, widening casting, which it works like this. So you just say uh, double number int equal to number, right? So this is what we call widening casting. So you've been able to cast this integer into a double, right? So there is what we call widening casting, right? Narrowing casting, sorry. So with this narrowing casting now, um we can cast a double to an integer, right? So like that is like converting a number that is a data type double to an integer data type, right? So we can say int number 2 is equal to double sorry equal to int double int, right? So we've been able to cast back the this double integer to back into a number, right? And an integer, sorry. So we've been able to cast this double into an integer again, right? So if you print this um print number number uh, double double int equal to plus number 2. So if we print this and log it to the console, we get this. Yes, so you can see we've been able to print this Yes, so you can see we are able to convert this number into a double data type, right? And we also be able to convert the double data type back into a number, right? So that's how casting works in Java, right? So let's move on to operations right now. Operations in Java. So we have operations in Java. So operations are used to perform like basic arithmetic, right? So let's say you want to do um, we have the plus sign, we have the minus sign, we have the division sign, we have the remainder sign, and a lot of that, right? So that's what we'll be doing for this subtopic operation, right? So here now, you're basically making operations on variables. These variables can be double, can be integers, right? Can be float as well. So for instance, now let's say we have int um, uh, number one equal to 100, right? And we have int number two equal to 50, right? So we can perform an operation on these two integers and see int number three is equal to number one number minus number two, right? So, and if you print this, you see that we've been able to perform a subtraction operation on this number and number one and number two, right? So let's print this to the console. So this, yes, so we were able to get 50 because 100 minus 50 is 50, right? So that's we've been able to perform the subtraction operation. Subtraction operation, right? So if we can also perform an addition operation, right? Number four equal to number one plus number two, right? So number four, that is four. So that is, so let's, yes, so on the console we are getting 150 for the addition operation because 100 plus 50 is 150, right? So this is the addition operation, right? So that is that for addition. We can also perform division operations. Yes. So division, this is the division operation, right? So for division operation, we are able to divide two numbers, right? We are able to divide the first number by the second number. So in this case now we are dividing 100 by 50 and the answer is 2. That's why we have 2 here, right? Division. we also have the modulo operation, right? So the modulo operation helps you get remainder of two numbers, right? So let's say we see int number 6, right? We want to get the remainder between if when number 1 is divided by number 2, right? So number one, so for that, for the remainder operator, we use the percentage sign, right? So you say number 1 moduli number 2, right? So if we print this, we get 0, because number 2 is able to divide number 1 perfectly without any remainder, right? So that is, let's see, yes. So the answer for this is 0, because number 2 is able to divide number 1 perfectly. But in the case where we say we use a number that there will be remainder, then we see the remainder. Let's say we use 30 now, right? So if we use 30, we'll be getting some remainder here. Yes. So that's the modulo operation, right? So there are other operations we can also perform with these numbers in Java, right, and any other programming language, right? So that's how operations work in Java, right? So we are now going to move into strings. So we are going to talk about strings. We're going to be talking about some few methods in a string, right? So let's say we have a string called we have a string here. With that string, we see it name equal to John, right? So for this string now, we can perform some operations like getting the length of this string, right? You can see um, uh, int length of string equal to name dot length, right? So the length would return an int value, right? Because we are trying to get the length of the string, and the length is in integer, right? So we can get that, and if we print that to the console, we are going to get an integer. We are going to get an integer of 4. Yes, we are going to get an integer of 4. Why? Because the length of this is, we have four alphabets here. If you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's why we're getting 4, right? So that's the dot length method on strings. There are also other operations on strings. We can also see we can also get the convert this string now to an uppercase. We can convert it to a total lowercase and all of that, right? So what we can just do is see string uppercase name equal to name dot to uppercase, right? So with this now, this if we print this to the console, right, we'll be having an all caps John. Okay, let's see. So all the letters of John will be in capital letter, yes. So you can see it on the console. We are having everything in capital letters here, right? So we can also convert that back to a lowercase, right? So these are some of the methods we have in strings, right? So let's say we converted lower case or converted back to lowercase name, right? So we say uppercase dot to lowercase to lowercase. Yes. So yes, we can also do that. So this is yes, yes, we've been able to convert the string back to the lower case, right? So that's how that's some of the few operations we can do on the string. We also have the dot index operation where we can find the character in the string. So for instance, I want to get the index of n in John, right? You can see string um, int index index of n equal to, so we say John name dot index of n, right? So let's see what we get from that. Yes, so yes, so it's saying that the index, so for indexes we start counting from zero, right? So let's see, let me explain this better. For length, for length of, to get the length of a value, we start from one, right? But for index we start counting from zero, right? So in this case now that we have John, J is 0, O is 1, H is 2, and N is 3, right? So that's how we count in computer programming, right? With indexes, we index values from 0 to n minus 1, right? So 0 is the first one, then the last one is n minus 1. N is the length. So if the length is 4 and we minus 1, that is 3. So that's why we are getting that's why we are getting 3, index 3 for n, right? So let me, yes, so that's right. Let me make it bold. So indexes are determined by with the formula n minus 1. So the index of John is 1 minus 1, which is 0, right? So that's the index of 1. And for G, then for O, we have 2 minus 1, which is 1, right? So that is how the indexing works for in Java, in programming entirely, right? Yes. So let's go into talk about concatenation in strings, right? Yes, so what is concatenation? So concatenation is how we can, yes, so concatenation is how we can join two strings together using the plus operator, right? So remember the plus operator is used for arithmetic operations in any programming language, right? So in for strings, you basically can use the plus operator to add two strings together, right? Let's say we have two names. We have name one and name two, and name one is John and name two is Doe, right? We want to add John Doe together. We can use the plus operator. So that is concatenation. That is what we mean by concatenation in Java, right? So let me give you an example. Let's say we have string uh, boy name or name of boy equal to Daniel, and string surname of boy equal to Kenneth or Kennedy, right? Kennedy, yes. So if we want to concatenate Daniel and Kennedy together, we will just say string full name is equal to name of boy plus surname of boy, right? So if we print this out, right? If we print this out, we are going to get um, the two names concatenated together. Yes. So this is the two names concatenated together, right? We can also use the concat method on strings in Java. So you say string full name of girl equal to name of boy dot concat, yes, surname, right? So this also does the same thing like what we have above, right? So with this we also get the same results. So that is that in yes, that is that for concatenation. So if for this reason, let's say you want to concatenate two string integers. Let's say you have, let's say you want to, let's say you use the plus sign on two string integers. So what you're going to expect is a concatenated string, because those strings are, those integers are strings, right? They are not integers themselves. So you're going to, instead of you to get an addition of the two string integers, you're going to be getting a concatenated result of the two of them. So let's say number one is equal to 30, right? And string number two is equal to number two is equal to 50, right? So if you do a concatenate on the two of them, if you do a plus on the two of them, you notice you have you'll be getting a string as a result instead of a number, because the two of them are strings, right? So results equal to number one plus number two. Results. So you'll be getting is the two string integers concatenated together instead of them be added. Why? Because strings are not added, they are concatenated together. You cannot add strings, you can only concatenate them, right? So that is what what concatenate means. You're basically joining two strings together. You're not adding them, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about if statements. Right. So if so um if statement is a way to condition a block of code to run when a particular condition is met. Right. So, and the else statement, if an else statement, and the else statement is a block of code that you want to run if the when the if statement is fails, right? Let's say you have a scenario where, for instance, you see um, um, I want to buy food, or yes, you want to buy food, or you want to buy rice, right? You go to the market and you want to buy rice, and you see if there is if this customer is around, or if this marketer, your usual customer is around, buy from her, and if she's not, buy from someone else. So the first condition is you want to buy from her if she's around. That's the first if statement. Then the else statement is you want to buy from someone else if your own customer is not around. So that is the use of conditional statements in Java, in programming as a whole. So you want to condition the block of code to run based on the condition you want it to run. So let's say the syntax for this is if and a block of code, right? So um, inside these braces, you want to write your conditions, right? Inside this open and close bracket, you want to write the condition. So you can say if okay, let me say string name is equal to email, right? My name is equal to email. So you want to say if my name dot, so there is an equals um, method on strings that Java also provide, right? So this you use this to check if um, something is equal to something else. So you say if my name is equal to Carlo, then uh, also print print my name to the console, right? Then so let's so what is it? It's always false. So let's try to run this and see what happens. Hmm, Let me comment this out. Let me comment this out. Yes. So you can see that my name was not printed because my name is not equal to Carl, right? So you can say else now, else uh, okay, else print print hello, right? So if we run this now, you see that you notice that hello will be printed because my name is not equal to hello, right? Yes, hello has been printed, right? So that is how conditions work. We can also do arithmetic inside this condition block, right? We can say if 20 is greater than 30, print my name, right? So so it is, yes. So if 20 is greater than 30, print my name, else print Carlo. So if 20 is greater than 30, which is false, since this is false, this block of code will not be run, right? So what will now happen is it will now come down to this else. It will now come down to this else and run what is inside the else, right? So we can also have multiple if conditions. So we can say if else if 40 is greater than 10 or is greater than 100, right? Run this else and we still add the else at the end, right? Else start run right. So we are having multiple if and else statements now, right? So this if 20 is greater than 30, print this. Else if 40 is greater than 100, print this, right? Then if these two does not, if these two they are false, then print this, right? So that this is how we tell the code we add multiple conditions to an if statement. So let me run this now and see what happens. Yes, you can see that it's running the last else statement because the two of these are false, right? Since the two of these are false, it will come down to this last place and run the code block inside of it. So if I bring this to 30, if I bring this to 30, you see that you notice that it will run and print hello because 40 is greater than 30, right? So compiling, yes. So it will print hello because 40 is greater than 30, right? So this is what we call if and else conditional statements, right? So there is a way we can also write there's what we call ternary operators, right? So uh, ternary operators. So ternary operators are a way to write ternary operators are a way to write conditions without using the if and else statements, right? So let's say you want to, but that works only for shorter condition code, right? If the condition statement is short, not something very long, then you can always use ternary operators, right? So in, let's say for instance now we have int time is equal to 20, right? And we say if, using the if statement, we say if time is less than 20, then um, print good day or good morning, right? And we now say else print good evening, right? So you already know we are going to be getting good evening because time is not less than 20, right? So let's do this and see what we get. Yes, we are getting good evening on the console. Why? Because time is not less than 20, right? So instead of us writing all of this code, uh, we can just say string greeting is equal to time time less than 20 good morning else good evening, right? So so this this is what we call ternary operator. Ternary operator or ternary operation, right? So we've been able to write this chunk of code in a single line, right? So if I print this greeting, if I print this greeting, if I print this greeting, you see that we are also going to be having good evening as our response, right? We're also going to be having we're also going to be having good evening as our response because these two values are the same. These two chunks of code, they are the same. Yes. So we have good evening from the greetings, and we also have good evening from this chunk of code, right? So that is ternary operator, right? It helps you write a shortened version of your conditional statements, right? And we mostly use this in cases where the condition is short. We don't have something very long in the condition block, right? So that is when we use the ternary operator, right? So um, we have what we call switch statements, right? So instead of us writing if, multiple if, and else ifs, right? We can use switch statements. So switch statements is another way to write conditional statements, right? So the syntax of switch statements is this switch expression. um, expression. So let me just declare this so we don't get errors. So expression with cases. So instead of so this expression is the condition, right, that we want to be checking off. So the we have what we call cases, right? So the cases are like the checks to see which one satisfies this expression, right? So let's say case A, we say we so for case A, we are going to write a particular chunk of code, right? Let's say string A equal to something, right? String B is equal to something else, right? So we can see case E and write a particular code here, then we break it, right? We break uh, we break it, right? And we say case B, we write another code, and we break it again, right? So this is then we have a default case, right? So this the default case. So let's say the default case is like will be like the else statement for the if and else conditions, right? So we say code block, right? So that is how the switch statement works. Let's look at examples. Okay, so let's get an example now. So let's say we have an integer month, right? And we say month is equal to 7, or month is equal to 4, right? So if we do a switch case on month, and we so if you say case 1, we can say January, right? Break. So we can say case 2, February, break. Can say case 3, case 3, so March, break. I can say case 4, case 4, so April, right? Then we can say we can break and say default, default, and say so, so June, right? So if you run this chunk of code now, you will see that we are going to print April because the month is equal to 4, right? Based on this variable we assigned here. So let's run it and see what happens. Yes. So we got April, right? Because int month is equal to 4, right? So this is the switch statement, right? So you can use the statement instead of writing yourself blocks, right? And the switch statement is also has the better syntax, and it's also faster than the if and else conditions, right? That's why most developers prefer using the if switch statement than the if and else statement, because it makes your code more um, look better, and it's also faster than the if and else statement, right? So that is that for this course, right? So if you have any questions for all I've talked about on this course, you can always put them in the comments. If you also have um, topics you would like me to talk about, right? You can also put them in the comments, and the topic with the most comments I will do a tutorial video for that topic, right? And explain the concepts on that topic, right? So you might have seen me doing this, writing SOUT, then automatically showing something, right? So this is an inbuilt method in Java that helps you write shortcuts for um, um, for some kind of methods, right? Inbuilt method. So you so how it works is you write SOUT, then you press tab. So when you press tab, it IntelliJ IDEA helps you auto complete this instead of you writing it out word after word, right? If you press the S SOUT, you can see it has already shown the you can see it has already shown the value. So I can, instead of, if I don't want to press the tab, I can just press on the value, right, and hit enter, and that is it, right? So that is an inbuilt method in IntelliJ IDEA that helps you. I will also show you other inbuilt methods as we progress in the course, right? So thank you for sticking around. See you in the next video. Bye.